So today's lesson we are going to go over different forms of quadratic equation relation. The first one is a standard form. From this one we can find the y-intercept right away. Then also we have learned the factor form. Y equals a bracket x minus s bracket x minus t. S and t are the x-intercepts, and from here you can find the vertex. Then do the graph accordingly. And today what we are going to introduce is a new form, vertex form. The vertex form is y equals a bracket x minus p bracket squared plus q. And part 1 we are going to see what the q value will affect the graphs. So we are going to graph 3 quadratic relations. Y equals x squared, y equals x squared plus 2, y equals x squared minus 2. And in order to graph y equals x squared, we create the table values. We pick the simplest points. The simplest point is 0, 0. Then from 0, we do the symmetric point. -1, +1, -2, +2. Then -2 squared give you +4. So you have 1 point, -2, 4 on the graph. Then -1 squared give you 1. -1, +1 is another point. 0, 0, third point. 1 squared, 1. So you have 1, 1, fourth point. And 2 squared is 4. 2, 4 is the fifth point. You have 5 points, and you do the graph. You have the blue curve. This blue curve, we call it base function, parent function. So in future, each time you graph this blue curve first. Then all the others, we are going to use a vertex form to move this blue curve around. So if we have y equals x squared plus 2, what we are going to do is all the y value of the blue curve plus 2. Then all the y value just shift 2 units up. You have the right curve. That is y equals x squared plus 2. For x squared minus 2, it's just all the y value of the blue curve minus 2. Then it's down 2. So all the blue curve, the y value minus 2. Then you have the green curve. So this is for the part 1, x squared plus q. So in general, if q greater than 0 is up to q units. If q less than 0, then the graph down q units. So we are going to do the next investigation. That is part 2. So for part 2, you are going to do graphing of these 3 graphs on the decimals.com. Okay. Once you graph it, you will see the graph is shift left and right. And -4, you will see the graph shift 4 units right. So it's opposite, just like what we did for the factor form. Factor form, when we are looking for the x-intercept, is opposite. So this is opposite. So I will show you why it is opposite. So this is a table of values of the blue curve. And for the y equals x minus 4, we force the x minus 4 equals -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, because once we do this way, then y equals x minus 4 bracket squared, you will have nice y values. So -2 squared is 4, -1 squared is 1, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. But this is x minus 4 value, not x value. Then we solve for the x. So x equals 2. 2 minus 4 give you -2. So in order to solve for x, we let x minus 4 equals -2. when we solve for x, we move the -4 to other side, it's +4. So that's the reason it's opposite. -4, then the x value is +4. On the graph is go to the right 4 units. So this is at the slider, you will see for the p value, x minus 1, p is positive 1, is red 1. X minus 2, p is positive 2, is red 2. And if p is negative, so -1, x minus -1 is x plus 1, is left 1. -2, x plus 2 is left 2. So this is how you can see the pi. So for this one, we have y equals bracket x minus p bracket squared. So the p value is opposite with the number inside the bracket. If you have x minus 1, then the p is positive 1, so it's opposite. So -1, right, positive 1. +2, then left 2 units. So we have done 2 things for today's lesson. Q value is up down, x squared plus a number, then the number positive up, number negative, then the whole graph down. Another one we have learned today is x minus p bracket squared is left right. So any questions? P is left right, Q is up down. So this is 2 things for today. So P value is left right, Q value is up down. Left right, up down. And also we have one thing we didn't mention is the P value, P comma Q is your vertex. So we go back and see y equals x squared, pq 0, you have vertex 0, 0. And this one, p is 4, q is 0, the vertex is 4, 0. This one, p is -1, q is 0, -1, 0. So pq is your vertex. That is also the reason why we call this vertex form. So plus q, we have a at front. So in this vertex form, we have done P and Q. P left right, Q is up down. So any questions? Use the decimals, do the graph of these 3. So this one is what you will see. The 3 graphs just wider or steeper, but the vertex not changing because the p value, q value, they are 0, 0. So vertex is 0, 0, not changing, but the steepness changed. So from the y equals x squared, you have the 2 at front, then all the y value doubled. So it gave you some hints in future. Once we have this blue curve, what you need to do is just all the y value, you double it if the a value is 2. So you just change all the y coordinate by multiply the a value. So that is also the reason. Just remember this blue curve. Then in future, we don't use table values. We just use a pattern. A value, just the y value times a. Then you have the new graph. Remember, x value won't change. Stay with the same x, just y value times a value. So this one, y value times a value. This one is times 1/2. So just times a value, then you have the new graph. So they are the 3 things for K. So this part, then go to the next page. This is okay, just times the y value by the a value. And the good news is on your test, I'm not going to ask you for the 5 points. 3 points enough, just as long as you know it's curved. Don't give me straight line. It's U shape. Then it's good. So 0, 0, PQ value, both are zeros. And the Y value times -1/4 give you Y equals -1/4. And -1/4, how to find it? It's quarter of a grade. It's called 1/4. And next point is -2, -1. So these are the some points. So for this is -2. The original point, parent function is 4, then times -1/4 give you -1. So this is how you find the new point. It's here. And the symmetric will be +2, -1. So you just find the left 2 points, the other 2 points just symmetric on the other side. So -x² is +1 becomes -1. Then +4 becomes -4. Other 2 points symmetric. So this is for the A value. So APQ. And the conclusion is it doesn't matter A greater than 1 or A less than 1 on your test. You could just write stretch by a factor of A. On textbook, they may use A greater than 1, they call stretch. A less than 1, they call compress. Compress means just a graph wider. And A greater than 1 is steeper. But we don't want to confuse you. Don't bother compress or stretch. Just stretch by a factor of A, then it's good. You don't have to see it's wider or steeper. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to graph it, then it's good. So tomorrow we continue on this handout. So if you don't get it, don't worry, but please start to do some questions on delta mass. And also make sure the 2.2, the median altitude, the paper pencil one, please get it done. And I will post the paper pencil work on D2L if you want